What is good, everyone? We are here with Division 2 at Azerbaijan. Very interesting grid for y'all tonight. Nope. For everyone who keeps DMing me, asking me why we're, not gonna race anymore, well, you can definitely see why. So, not much needs to be said. So bringing the forecast there up on the screen for you. A little cloudy for qualifying, but we will be completely clear, completely dry for the main race. Goldie here on his first qualifying push attempt here. Chonk setting the pace here. Nadewell beating that by 3/10. What does Roldy do as he finishes his first lap? Off original pole set by Nadewell by about 8/10 for Roldy. Looks like Roldy's just going to keep rolling around here. Has enough fuel to do a full another lap, but no battery to make it an effective one. A little bit of a different strategy here from Giorgio. We saw last night, most people holding most of their deployment until this straight here and then dumping as much as they possibly could heading up to the line. See what Giorgio is able to put together with this lap. He did set the fastest first sector. Puts him up into P6, so with a really nice first sector, but well off in the second and third. Just a little bit too much battery in the first couple of these first two straights here. So Nadewell has quite a lot of fuel. We've seen Nadewell do a few times this season, do more than one lap on a set of tires. So let's pull up his tire information here at 3% on his rears. On that battery now, on the medium, so he's going to go again. You look right at the bottom of your screen there on the top right part of his display on his wheel. He has 2 laps left, so he'll push this one and go into the pits. So Nadewell, rather than using medium tire or intermediate, he's just going to run 2 quick laps on his first set of softs and save one for the race. Big lockup there. We have seen people recover from lockups like that last night. Nadewell already sitting nice and pretty at the top of the current leaderboard. Very smooth turn 3 there for Nadewell. A little tap of the wall and the exit there of turn 4. Doesn't use all the track there as he heads to this really tight middle section of the track. It's still nice and smooth. Looking at his delta here, we should see... It's kind of hard to say. So he'll cross the Sector 3 line here before he goes down the true final corner of the track. Not sure what they actually call the final corner here, because there is a little bit of bendiness, little S, as we head down that final straight. So he'll cross that Sector 3 line for this final braking zone up here, and we will see his progress. As you saw, and like I mentioned before, so he is just above his fastest time so far by about half a tenth. So there he has a ton of green. You see that green bar? That is his battery deployment with the overtake button. So he has a ton left, and now I assume he will begin to drain it, or he won't. Oh, yeah, it says overtake. He is dumping it. So let's see what kind of improvement. Very, very small improvement. So goes from a 39.2 to a 39.2. So that's at the fastest middle sector there for Nadewell. Looks like maybe you have Chonk with a similar strategy. Tons of fuel in there. 3.4 laps of fuel as he finishes this push lap. So Chonk will go up into pole. First one into 38s here. So Chonk beating Nadewell by just over 3/10 there. Chonk, as you see there, is using worn tires. So really nice lap there from Chonk. Puts him on provisional pole. Let's see if we can find someone else about to push or pushing now. So we have Marcel Green, aka Chico, here. On his first valid push attempt. Not following instructions, so his points aren't going to count for anyone tonight. Hop up board with him. Look at combined here, pushing into the final sector here, a little bit away, a little bit down the track from the anonymous Ferrari. Combined, his inputs always looking very wild as he is on controller, and he has that Australian ping. Fastest first sector here for combined. Solid middle sector. Let's see what he's able to do using all his battery as he heads down towards the line in a 39.9. So a long way to go to battle his teammate for pole position. A little bit of a mistake there for a combined, but very impressive to get that car turned around as quickly as he did. Labib here has not raced in quite some time, as he was among the group of people who gave up their spot in the draft at the start of the season so other people can race. See how well that has gone. Labib in the Alpine tonight. Stu Francis hopped in the Haas and then missed the question. So let's see Labib here. Labib always has some sneaky pace. Another controller player is Labib. Labib doing a 41.7, so hopping right in front of Chubb Tucker, or 41.1, excuse me. Old man eyes. Hopping in front of Chubb Tucker. See if we can find someone else pushing. Big man in the box. Bringing it into the... Nope, he looks like he's finishing a lap here. Not on the overtake button. 2/10 improvement, but no positional improvement for him here. About half a second off of Nadewell in P2. The Chonk still pushing potentially on these old tires. A lot of battery here. I will be curious to see if he pushes on these tires, as we saw last night, those soft tires definitely fall off in a manner that does not help you, or fall off quite rapidly. So not on the battery here, so potentially Chonk going into the pits. Yeah, Chonk going into the pits. Man in the box, Bind on their way in. We have Kiwi here. She is pushing Same strategy. Oh no, little traffic there. I believe that is Stu Francis, who's out of fuel, just driving, completely blocking Kiwi. So former steward showing off his steward prowess there, blocking Kiwi. Kiwi though with a really impressive lap, despite being blocked there. So 39.6 for Kiwi puts her into P3. So Kiwi scored a number of podiums last season. After being a very impressive driver back in Season 9, Kiwi joined Division 2, raced basically every single race towards the back of the field, but she just kept on chugging along, just doing races, gathering up whatever points she could, and then last season in the championship battle until the final race. So maybe today we will get a Division 2 podium for Kiwi. So that is a very exciting prospect. Leave Roldy here on his way into the pits. Roldy with a nice lap improvement on his lap there in the 41s before, now to a 39.7, so puts him into P5. Beeb, invalid lap here on his way back into the pits, I would imagine. 4.5 minutes left in our session. I apologize for any Discord bloops. I need to put my thing on E&D. Shouldn't hear any more bloops. Kiwi on her way back into pits, and we will have to wait probably about a minute or so before everyone starts going out for their final push attempt. So it looks like Chonk and Nadewell both only using one set of tires in this entire session so far. We'll most likely go out on a new set of tires and put on a nice little show for us for this battle for pole position. So it looks like Chonk here will be the first one out, going out extremely early. Take a little extra fuel, it looks like, so maybe... Yeah, I'm not sure what his strategy here is. It's difficult to be able to go back around if you mess up. This is just not how you warm up your tires. This is how you burn up your tires, but... We'll see. Maybe Chonk has the right idea. His tire performance still shows 0%. So we'll see how that works out for him. Man of the box is coming up right behind him. I'll be interested to see who tries to use a tow here for the final push attempt. We'll right on board here with Chonk. And we'll roll down the order as we can. Giorgio will be the final one coming out of the pits right now. He looks like he has just enough time to get around, do his lap. It's going to be really tight with the amount of traffic we have. Or he'll run into as things bunch up in the middle of the track. So Chonk into turn 1 for the final time tonight, not taking any curb, with a generous amount of curb on exit. Not using any of that inside curb. We talked with our race winner, Nick Arrow, last night. Want to use all of that inside curb going through turn 2. Don't lose any time and it'll gain you a buttload. Same thing here. Not afraid of that inside curb for Chonk at that time. A little bit of bounce as he goes through that curb. As he goes through that sector line, he is up on his time by 2/10. So we're looking at a mid-38 here. A potential pole, so he's definitely the quickest in Sector 1 right now. Chunk will be able to escape any kind of traffic here. Be finishing his lap with a lot of clean air in front. Looks like there's a little bit of some shenanigans, toe shenanigans happening back there. Looks like someone's even driving side by side. What the heck is even happening back here? Roldy and it's like Giorgio. I don't know what the fuck is happening there. Roldy going into the back of Giorgio. I don't know if Giorgio's trolling or what, but overtaking someone like that with that much time left in the session, that's a bizarre play. Roldy not happy with Giorgio overtaking him going into turn 1 on their final push lap. Chonk improving his times to a 38.5. Nadewell coming through the final sector for his final time tonight. Like a quicker first sector for Nadewell. We will see his sector 2 time as he crosses the line, so we'll see his delta as he crosses this line right here, 2/10. So unlikely to actually get pole here. So Chonk may have actually done it here. Man in the box. He is finished. So that is his final time, 39.3. Nadewell improving on his time. So Nadewell will finish with a 38.9, still well off of pole. Kiwi finishing her final push attempt here. Man in the box with no front wing on his in lap there. Kiwi kind of running out of battery as she heads up towards the line for the final time. Kiwi, no improvement in position there. Roldy, his lap was blocked by whatever Giorgio decided to do on that final push there. Chubb Tucker broke his front wing. Labib, an improvement, but no improvement on his position. So Chonk on pole here on the streets of Baku. Combined, our current championship leader down in P4. I forgot to link our standings to the broadcast, so I'm not going to be able to put that on the screen for us. But Combined is our championship leader right now. Has not finished higher than P3 all season, but he has 4 P3s in a row. And he currently leads our championship by 15 points over Rigraph. And Rigraph starting down in P11 is certainly going to be difficult for him to challenge anything. Nadewell sits in P3 with 95 points, combined with 118 points in P1. Nadewell in P3 with 95. Man in the box right behind him with 94. And then Chonk down in P5 with 89 points. So technically the championship battle is still open, but Combined has a very nice, comfortable lead to the other expected championship contenders. Now we're just waiting for Man in the Box to retire, and the session should move on as he drives into the pits in low fuel mode. So thank you, Man in the Box, for using the entire session timer there for us. All right, so that's very odd. I'm curious why we can hear the crowd so um, very bizarre, but all right, boys, so here we go. Nadewell and Chunk leading us off the start here. A lot of really pixelated smoke as we head into turn one for the first time tonight. It's like combined and man in the box going side by side into turn two here. Looks like combined backing out, not risking any kind of championship disaster here. Kiwi falling down, or Kiwi down in P8. Snoop Francis down behind them. Giorgio in P10. Habib bringing up the rear as we head in to the end of the first sector here. Excuse me, on the first lap, Nadewell and Chonk kind of pulling away from the rest of the field. Looks like Chico here in the incorrect Ferrari, losing a position there to combine, going deep, like into turn 4. So man in the box now, 1.5 seconds behind our two race leaders of Chonk and Nadewell. Will tonight be the first night that Nadewell has a clean race and has no disconnects or crashes or wheel brokes? So only one hard runner. The anonymous Ferrari here. The only one going for the alternate strategy. It was hard to tell what the alternate strategy was going to do last night, as the safety car came out right when our hard runners came out of the pits. But they were not undercut by a large amount as I had anticipated. So Nadewell looks like he's going to take the lead of the race as we head into the end of lap 1 here. Actually, no, they're side by side. It's like Chonk using some battery. Nope, never mind. Nadewell is in front, so Nadewell setting the pace here as we head into turn 2 for the second time tonight. Combined a man in the box. Still about 1.4 behind. Looks like Chubb Tucker had a moment there, and he is missing most of his front wing now. He'll likely have to get that replaced. We did see last time a few people driving with a little bit of wing damage combined. Now going for a move here on man in the box into turn 3 and getting that position from him. It's like Kiwi overtaking some people here also. So Kiwi in front of Roldy and Giorgio. Now Kiwi and Roldy on the hunt here for the anonymous Ferrari. Almost look like someone smacked the wall back there. But combined, doing a nice job pushing here to try to catch up with Chonk and Nadewell in this lead train. Combined, I'm sure, very conflicted about racing for a W here, as he wants to, not necessarily wants to, but may have a little bit of desire in his heart to win the championship without winning a single race. Combined setting the fastest first sector during this lap and the fastest second sector. So Combined is pushing. He's doing what he can to try to catch up with his teammate here, Chonk, with the aid of DRS as we head down the pit straight for the second time tonight. Likely overtake Nadewell here for the race lead. See Chonk there on the battery. Chonk setting the fastest lap, but they're going side by side into turn 1 here. Respectful racing there, leaving room on the outside. We're going to go side by side into turn 3 or turn 2 as well. Yes, we are. So let's see. Looks like Chonk having to back out there, but he will have DRS, I would imagine. No, actually, no, he does not have DRS. So Nadewell's going to run away a little bit here. That battle, giving Combined a little bit of an opportunity to close that distance, or close that gap a little bit more. Gap down to 1.1 now, but still no DRS for him. Chubb Tucker into the pits now to replace, or coming out of the pits now, excuse me. Sorry about that. Mouth suddenly got super dry. So Combined, losing a bit of time through the middle sector there. The DRS shenanigans between Chonk and Nadewell likely causing him to lose a little bit of time. But Chonk and Nadewell still going at it as we come down this long, sweeping straight. That doesn't really make any sense, but this long, goofy straight here at Baku. Chonk, with the assistance of DRS, will it have enough to get past Nadewell here? Going to dump the rest of his battery, and he's still not really there. He's going to have to kind of send it to get this move done, and he's going to try to go down the inside. Looks like he's going to get that move done, and he does. Combined 1.3 seconds behind, not giving up any positions to anyone behind. Behind, very eager to get into that. He's actually pulling away from the cars behind him. Potentially Nadewell or Chonk a little bit slower than Nadewell in the middle sector. On these race laps, as Combined was able to close that gap by quite a bit once Chonk got in front of Nadewell. So now man in the box and Kiwi pursuing anonymous Ferrari here. I guess I should say Ferrari driver number 2. Give him a more generic name. He did not follow instructions. So Rigraff doing a nice job moving himself up from P11 now into P9. Racing behind his teammate and team principal, Roldy. Giorgio has fallen off of the train here. And 1.3 seconds behind Kiwi. But Combined still not there. And well, unlikely to have, well, let's see. 1.1 is the gap as we approach the DRS detection zone. Nadewell overtaking Chonk for the race lead here. Will any kind of battle pull Combined into this battle. Kiwi overtaking man in the box and Cheek, Ferrari driver number 2. Man in the box getting in front of him as well. But the gap to Combined is now bigger than the gap from Combined to our leaders. Roldy getting in front of Giorgio back here in for P7. Looks like Giorgio's going to go back at him with the help of DRS into turn 3. Big lockup from Roldy there, trying not to go into the back of Giorgio. Now looks like Roldy's going to let Rigraff go by, and Rigraff going into the wall there. So Rigraff a little wild there. No front wing damage for him, luckily. But it does seem to be the case. Every time Nadewell gets back into the lead of the race, Combined has a harder time trying to keep up with these guys. He was so close on the previous lap here. Then Nadewell retook the lead of the race, and I guess the pace is a little bit better from Nadewell as we go through the middle sectors. And Combined, actually, there it is. 9/10 is the gap. So Combined, if he can hold this, he will have DRS. Looks like he has done it. Chonk dangerously close to losing out on the DRS to Nadewell, and he actually won't have DRS here. Nadewell has pulled away from Chonk. Chonk only using so much battery to try to keep battling with Nadewell. Nadewell has pulled away, so the second Combined catches up with his teammate. His teammate loses the leader. So Nadewell showing out here in the Whataburger car. Does he have enough to pull away from Combined? As you would assume, Combined will overtake his teammate relatively soon. Man of the box. 1.4 seconds behind Combined. Giorgio now 4 seconds behind Ferrari driver number 2. So very, a lot of battling here in this rear pack between Giorgio and these Aston Martins. But yeah, now Chonk, Combined behind Chonk now. Chonk suddenly struggling, maybe with a bit of a drop off on his tires here, but Nadewell is flying away, setting the fastest first sector there with plenty of battery left. Chonk, not a lot of battery left for him. But again, yeah, Chonk just suddenly struggling. Nadewell was over a second quicker than Chonk on the previous lap. Now man of the box is closing that distance to these Mercedes. Combined making a bit of a mistake there, losing a bit of time to Chonk. Having to use up a little bit of battery to try to not give man in the box DRS, but man in the box, he's within that 1 second gap. So now Nadewell alone by himself at the front. Alone by himself. Maybe a little redundant sentence, but whatever. Man in the box in DRS. So that means Kiwi, Ferrari driver number 2 are in the fight here for P2 as they all have DRS. And that gap to Nadewell now over 2 seconds. Will Combined overtake his teammate heading into turn 1 here? Looks like he will, but this is not the best way to do this. Actually, no, it's fine. He did it before the corner. So, well played to Mercedes there. We saw Red Bull try to do a couple of swaps last night, and they absolutely botched it. So Mercedes doing a little bit better with that. Man in the box actually losing out a little time to Combined. Combined maybe using the slingshot of that DRS to kind of propel himself away from the rest of the field. Kiwi looking to make a move here on Man in the box potentially, but she does not. So now a little bit of work for Man in the box to catch back up with these 2 Mercedes drivers. And again, he's back into DRS, or back within the DRS delta, and then he's back out of it. So let's hop on board here with Man in the box as he chases himself, or chases these guys. We actually have a battle here between Labib and Rigraff. So this gap for these guys is now 7.5 seconds to the rest of the field here. Massive amounts of battling here between these Aston Martins, Labib, and Giorgio. Roldy actually electing to go ahead and pit, so maybe actually having some front wing damage here. But Roldy and Snoop Francis coming out of the pits at about the same time. Chuck Tucker still 11 seconds behind both of them. Man in the box just outside of the DRS window. Excuse me, DRS delta of Chonk. And it looks like he's not going to be able to get it on this lap. So Kiwi and Ferrari driver number 2. You have yellow flags back here. Looks like Snoop Francis actually stopped on track right in front of the castle section. So we see Snoop Francis, or Chubb Tucker, goes through him. Snoop Francis' telemetry is not enabled, so we can't actually see his stuff here. Man in the box getting overtaken by both Kiwi and Ferrari driver number 2. Kiwi, and that propels Kiwi into the DRS of Chunk at the current moment. So Kiwi will have DRS here. Like Ferrari driver number 2 may be looking for a move here, but not getting it done. More battles here between Labib and Giorgio. Giorgio, little slidey as he goes through turn 3 there. So Snoop Francis pitting again. I'm assuming he does have wing damage after that spin. So Roldy and Chubb Tucker on their own back here. Both of these guys can likely go to the end. The hard tire wear is super low. Looks like we actually have Giorgio slow now too. So Giorgio with some wing damage as he goes into the final sector here, or towards the final sector. So Giorgio will likely have to pit and get that thing replaced. Rigraff, another driver on his own here, pulling away from Giorgio and Labib, but 9 seconds is the gap between him and Man in the box. So we'll roll back up here with our battle for position 2. Right on board with Bind here as his teammate overtakes him, and that gap to our leader Nadewell is growing more and more. Kiwi getting really close to combined here. Kiwi with a lot of battery, but not in the greatest position here to make any kind of attack here. Looks like Combine potentially going at his teammate. No, Combine backs out there. So the train holding strong for now. Giorgio into the pits. Roldy overtaking him. Chont going super deep. Ooh, Kiwi having to ghost there because she goes over the curb trying to avoid the goofy driving of the 2 Mercedes in front. So Ferrari driver number 2 pulling in front of Kiwi. Combine getting that position from Chonk as we head into the castle section. Chonk just having a bit of a braking issue there as we go through those corners. Kiwi again, a big slide on exit there. Whoa! Some weird stuff happening there, and Kiwi seeing some excellent F124 stuff. Kiwi suddenly behind them, and now 3.3 seconds behind everyone else, which also leaves Man in the Box out to dry, as Man in the Box was relying on the DRS from Kiwi to keep him in this train. Now Chonk squeezing Ferrari driver number 2 as we head towards turn 1. Combine trying to give a tow to his teammate. We have a yellow flag. Giorgio retired, and that caused a safety car. So Giorgio crashing into the wall at the castle section, and that will cause a safety car. So fantastic pace we've seen from Nadewell will pull him back to the rest of the field. Ferrari driver number 2 having to likely have to stay out on these hards. Snoop Francis, Chubb Tucker, and Roldy will get caught up to the rest of the field here. Labib going into the pits. Roldy staying out because he only has 3 laps on these hards. You can see the ridiculously low tire wear as he only has 3% on the right rear tire, which is the one that will be the most affected by the wear. So Nadewell likely to pit here and give up the lead of the race to Ferrari driver number 2, who's on those hard tires. So Snoop Francis into the pits again. Not sure if Snoop Francis has used hard tires. He has. He has a 1-lap old hard tires, so he'll put them back on. And from here, the hard tires will easily make the end of the race. I mean, actually, I'm pretty sure the hard tires will make the end of the race from lap 0. So Chubb Tucker having to pit off the hards to new mediums. 16 laps on mediums is definitely possible, but the tires are going to feel like doo-doo once we get to the end of the race. Oh, so actually, Ferrari driver number 2 electing to pit and put on some medium tires. Nadewell will hold on to the lead of the race, I believe. Let's see, combined coming around the final corner. Nadewell holding on to the lead of the race, combined in P4 here. So Chonk actually jumping in front of Ferrari driver number 2. I mean, it was Chonk that stayed out, or who had pit before. So Chonk taking P2 here. And then combined and now down in P4, man in the box in P5. Followed by Kiwi. Kiwi gets a little bit of a reprieve from that bizarre glitch she had that we all got to witness earlier. And then Rigraff and Roldy, followed by Labib, Chubb Tucker, and Snoop Francis. So both the Ferraris here on medium tires that they have already used their hards. So we will see how well they will work for these guys. I gotta tell you guys, I gotta poop. We need to get the safety car restarted, man, so I can go take a dump. Tab out for one moment here, guys. Apologies. So likely 1 or 2 more laps behind the safety car before we get this baby restarted. We have Snoop Francis lagging behind and Chubb Tucker lagging a little bit behind as well. So we will see how long it takes for them to catch up. So we see a lot of people doing a lot of weaving. It is very, very hard to keep tires in any kind of temperature window here in this game. Brake dragging does nothing. Weaving helps a little bit, but the tires are just concrete blocks for the most part, particularly these hard tires. Ags Magnus and Cube put it so well. Chonk doing a nice little Rojan here, going into the wall, breaking his front wing. So now instead of a potential double podium for Mercedes, Chonk will have to replace that front wing and get off his hard tires. So likely extending the safety car another lap. That or Snoop Francis is just dragging behind super slow on purpose. Now he has overtake on, so I guess he's trying to get back. Why is he driving with overtake on? Whatever, Snoop, you do your thing, bro. That kind of does clarify that Snoop is trying to get back into the race. It's just, you know, long track. Not a super high amount of corners. So Trunk going into the pits here. Replace that front wing. Likely be overtaken by Snoop Francis. Put on some medium tires, get that front wing replaced. So Chunk adding himself to the list of the medium tire runners. So let's take a look here. 2% wear already, but we are behind the safety car. Nadewell, about 2% as well. Man, this is the longest safety car of all time. 3-lap safety car around Baku. What a fun time. So the benefit here is to the medium tire runners. So the longer the safety car runs, the fewer laps they'll have to do on those tires. But still, 13 laps. If the safety car comes in, which it should on this lap. So going to be quite rough for these mediums. Man, this ABI_16 has joined and left our server about 1,000 times in the last week. I don't know what's with this dude, but yeah, well, whatever. So, welcome back and good riddance, I suppose. All right, so we will hop on board here with Combined as Nadewell gets set to restart our race here at the end of lap 13. So 13 laps to go, everyone on fresh boots. Well, everyone except for Roldy, I guess Snoop Francis technically. So Nadewell can go at any second now. Safety car is in the pit lane. So he's going to wait, not give anyone any kind of tow here. There he goes. Nadewell has restarted the race. So Combined getting jumped there a little bit. Looks like Kiwi actually jumping past Rigraff there. So Kiwi making some moves. And we also have that lovely safety car banner. This is going to be a big lunge from Kiwi on man in the box as we go into turn 2. Oh no! Kiwi spinning man in the box. So aggressive. So man in the box now joins his Haas teammate down in P11. Chubb Tucker all the way up into P6 now. So nice recovery so far, but man in the box, oh. Kiwi, I'm sure, is not super excited to have spun man in the box there. Chonk overtaking Labib as we head into the middle sector here. Labib still there, but nope. Chonk getting that move done on these medium tires. Rigraff falling off the lead here, so we may have our podium positions here already. Ferrari driver number 2 looking to make some moves here with these fresh mediums compared to these likely pretty cold hard tires. Chonk here going side by side with Kiwi. So Chonk may be looking for a little bit of revenge on Kiwi after Kiwi murdered man in the box. Poor man in the box. Labib being overtaken by Snoop Francis back here for P9. Snoop Francis already losing the rest of the train. Rigraff already 2.4 seconds behind Combined. And again, because this dude, Ferrari driver number 2, didn't follow instructions and hopped in the Ferrari, his points will not count tonight. So Chubb Tucker here in the actual Ferrari driver here, overtaking 2 cars here as DRS comes enabled. So getting by both the Aston Martins with the help of these medium tires. So Chubb Tucker leads the second train now. Chubb Tucker has shown some really nice pace in spurts, both in D1 and D2 this season. But then it always seems, as he describes it, to be very bipolar. Ooh, big lockup there from Chubb Tucker. Another kind of slide there for Chubb Tucker as we exit the castle section here. Chonk down here, overtaking, going side by side with Kiwi as we go. Oh man, Kiwi's gonna have nowhere to go here. Oh, does a good job of stopping the car there. But Chonk does get through, and Chonk will have DRS on this lap. Goldie very close to his teammate here. Let's see what Aston Martin decides to do with Chonk pushing really hard on these medium tires behind him. Chubb Tucker still losing time to our leaders here. Labib in that position on Snoop Francis. We head into turn 1 with the help of DRS. Man in the box. Already making up a bunch of time to these two guys here, fighting for P10, or excuse me, P9, excuse me. Chubb Tucker maybe just being the giant fog in the toilet here, as everyone behind him is losing so much time to our leaders. Kiwi and Chonk still back here. Chonk stuck in this train here, currently led by Chubb Tucker. The gap to these guys up in front is about 5 seconds now. So Combined and Nadewell pushing really hard after this AI car in the lead of the race currently. Chonk potentially looking for a potential send there on Roldy. But a very difficult place to overtake. We have, it looks like a slow car. It looks like Chubb Tucker has spun himself out, or has been spun out of the lead of this train. So now Rigraff moves himself into net P3. We discount the AI car at the lead of the race. So Roldy with DRS may overtake his teammate here. Chubb Tucker just retiring on track, or actually no, driving into the wall, causing a VSC. So tons of nice sportsmanship shown here tonight, guys. We've causing safety cars by crashing into the walls a little bit. Unfortunate. But Labib and Man in the box deciding to pit to put on some fresh mediums to try to push to the end. The only issue is just how far behind they are from the rest of the field. Man in the box in that incident with Kiwi earlier, right at the at the start, the restart of the race, on lap 13, or lap 14, excuse me. So he is well down the field right now, and now they're even further back after having pit for new tires. So DRS enabled, and we are back. Green flags again. Rigraff still holding position in P3 right now. Chonk still on those medium tires. We can kind of see a little bit of tire wear difference here. We see Rigraff, who always has shown some nice tire wear. We saw some insane tire wear differences at Netherlands earlier this season. Chonk and Kiwi being a super late breaker as we go through that penultimate corner there. New Francis just outside the DRS of these guys in this train here. Combined falling off of Nadewell for the lead of the race. The AI car in front of Nadewell is definitely going to help keep Combined behind, but it does help Combined battle for the championship without running away, winning a race in Division 2. So keep 3 wide as we go into turn 1 here. People giving a lot of space as we go through the exit there. Roldy coming out on top, so now Roldy is sitting in net P3, whereas Kiwi and Rigraph follow behind Chonk now, behind Roldy for the lead of this train. New Francis actually closing the gap a little bit there. Going really deep into that corner, I believe, with that delta now down to 1.1, so Snoop Francis potentially in the fight here. Labib, man of the box, still way out in another time zone right now. But Combined falling further and further behind Nadewell and his battle with the AI Ferrari. Ooh, big slide there from Roldy. So Roldy going into the wall there a little bit. Kiwi getting in front of Chonk. I'm pretty sure I saw that correctly. It was Roldy that went sideways a little bit under braking, not Chonk. But it did give Kiwi an opportunity to get in front. Yellow flags to the back, so Snoop Francis into the wall here. Full reverse into the wall there. No, hard to see if he has any wing damage as we don't have full telemetry for Snoop Francis. But Snoop Francis, as he was catching up with this train, so now Kiwi in the fight for P3 here. Kiwi's going to take P3 heading into turn 1 here. And Chonk sending it on Roldy here. Looks like Roldy, or was that Rigrav? I believe that was Roldy having a rough exit there. Now losing time to Kiwi. Kiwi running away now. Sheesh, pressing all the wrong buttons here. So Chonk, Kiwi Chonk, Rigraff, and Roldy here in a big battle. Kiwi just running away from them now as that rough exit for both of them as they battle. Ooh, is Roldy sending it there on Chonk? No, he does not. So now 2 seconds. Kiwi just in a couple of corners able to pull a 2-second gap on Chonk here. And now 7.4 is the gap to Combined in net P2. Chonk, oh, excuse me, wrong button again. So Chonk already closing that gap back up to Kiwi by a little bit. Those mediums still working quite well for him. But both Aston Martins right on his tail, and Roldy will have DRS as we head down the straight into into lap 20 here. Man, these cameras are so bizarre. So let's hop on board here with Roldy. What will Aston Martin do here? Will Roldy try to make a move on Chonk here? Chonk doing a bit of weaving, trying to break the toe. Roldy on that battery. Wants revenge. Going to get that position back from Chonk going into turn 1 here. Rigraff kind of looking to almost follow through here. Chonk going back at Roldy here. But again, with the way they're battling here, it looks like who will have DRS on the exit? Looks like Chonk is going to have DRS. He will, but Roldy's still in front. Rigraff kind of going back at Chonk here. Now we're going to go side by side into turn 3. Rigraff backing out here. Chonk going down the inside of Roldy. Looks like Rigraff hit the corner of the wall there. And so Kiwi, oh, big lockup from Roldy there. Running into the front of Chonk. So Roldy into the runoff. It's now only one more Aston Martin in the race, or in this battle with Chonk now. So unfortunate error for Roldy there going into the middle section of the track. Running himself right out of this battle. So now Rigraff takes the position from Chonk. Chonk with a bit of a lockup there as we go into the castle section. So Chunk, with this gap to Rigraff, DRS should easily throw him by. But actually, Rigraff doing a really good job of staying in front, now going defensive into turn 1. Bit of a lockup we see there from Rigraff. Not necessarily sure if that is an accurate lockup, as we see those all the time. One benefit from Roldy, though, is if Rigraff and Chonk keep battling, Roldy may be able to get back in this fight, as you see that gap already under 5.5 seconds. Looks like Rigraff just has that on the mind here, potentially sending it on Chonk, being very threatening here. Rigraff just trying to keep Chonk on his heels here, trying to potentially get Roldy back in the fight here. You see that gap basically dropped a 1.5 seconds in just the first half of this lap. Yellow flags back here towards the back, like Snoop Francis. Bit of a spin here as he goes through the slow castle section. Like Snoop Francis may have just paused and retired. Oh, he reset the track there. Okay, Snoop Francis is back going straight again. Hard to see if he has any wing damage here. Back up here in the front, we have Nadewell and the AI Ferrari battling. Going into turn 1, combined now 2 seconds behind them. Kiwi 9 seconds behind combined. And then Chonk 5.5 seconds behind Rigraff. Rigraff actually falling off of the back of Chonk here. So now we have no drivers within DRS of each other, with the exception of Nadewell and the AI Ferrari. Rigraff very slow through that corner. I wonder if Rigraff maybe just slow in, fast out for Rigraff as that delta's going back down. So to kind of get a little bit of an update here, hop on board here with Chonk, see where his tires are at. 18% with 4.5 laps to go. To combine, that gap was about 2.5 seconds at one point, is now only 1.7 seconds to the lead of the race to Nadewell. So combined may have an opportunity here to catch up. The Kiwi sitting pretty for a podium tonight. Well behind combined and also well in front of Chonk. Rigraff falling off of Chonk even more now. So not a lot of racing happening at the current moment. A couple of incidents happening, causing the field to spread here a little bit. More yellow flags back here. Looks like that may have been Man in the Box and Labib. It's hard to say. Or it was actually Roldy having a bit of a moment. He was about 2.5 seconds behind his teammate Rigraff, having a bit of a moment. The combine can see Nadewell right there up the road, but may not have enough time to catch back up with them. Look at that. We have a little bit of a DRS delta here. Man in the Box catching back up with Labib here for P8. Man in the Box racing his team principal here tonight. So Labib going a little bit defensive here on man in the box, not sticking to the primary line here. Man in the box being forced to try to make a move around the outside. Actually up here towards the front. Combined now 1 second behind the AI Ferrari car. So with a bit of pushing here, as we will see, I'm sure some overtake here from Combined. Nope, he's going to hold on to his battery here a little bit longer. Now he is in within 1 second here. He's now 8/10 behind the Ferrari. So Combined back in the battle for the lead of the race here. Now the gap to Kiwi is over 10 seconds. And the gap from Kiwi to Chunk, 8.5. So a big field spread at the current moment of our race. Man in the box and actually catching up with Roldy here and getting past him. Roldy looks like he actually had a moment there and let him through. Labib actually having a moment as well and losing them. Oh, we almost seen Labib go into the wall. Going through that corner with your battery on can be a bit scary. So Labib almost crashing out on the exit of the castle section here. But Combined now in the fight for the lead of the race. As we go into the second to last lap here, Combined on the battery very heavily. We look to maybe make a move here on this Ferrari. I know he's not close enough, so he'll have to back out a little bit here. But more battles back in the backfield. Boldy getting back in front of man in the box. Here we are in a battle for the lead of the race. So again, because the Ferrari driver didn't follow instructions, his points are not going to count. Big snap from the Ferrari driver there. So Combined potentially with an opportunity to overtake. No, his car unghosts. But a lot of time lost to the leader here. Nadewell in the Whataburger car. So as things stand, Kiwi would inherit a podium. Ooh, Combined going into the wall. No damage for him, but he definitely did kind of compromise his exit on the previous corner, but he's still in a nice delta. 7/10 is the gap between the Ferrari and Nadewell in the Whataburger car. Combined now on his battery here as we go into the final lap. Gap is 9/10 from Nadewell to the second car. Combined looking to try to make a move here potentially on this Ferrari, get by him, and maybe have a run on Nadewell going in to the end of this lap. Let's see. See that tire, we're 15% for Nade, 33% for the Ferrari, 15% for Combined. So a lot of battery here for Nadewell. Ferrari driver not with a lot, Combined with a decent amount of deployment left. Everyone thinking about the final stretch here, but Combined dangerously close to losing the DRS to the rest of these two leaders here. So here we go through the final corner for the final time tonight. Combined about the same amount of a gap to the Ferrari driver, and he's actually closing that gap down to 4.3, so he's on that battery. He's going to have a nice tow from the Ferrari. Will Combined make this move done? Oh, he's going to be around the go down the inside. Runs out of battery. They're going to bump as they go into the line. Looks like the Ferrari's going to finish in front, but he will not. So Combined will inherit that position. Kiwi will come in to finish P3, 10 seconds behind Combined. Chonk will come in net P4 here down in P5. Rigraff and man in the box Roldy likely too far back to make any kind of moves here on Man in the Box. As we head down the straight for the final time, Man in the Box doing a little weaving. Celebrate the end of this race. Man in the Box with a very nice recovery after losing out at the start of that safety car. So respect to Man in the Box for keeping on, and finishing very strong with a P7 after falling down to the back of the pack. Stu Francis will finish out this race. Stu Francis, always pleasure to have you with us, my dude. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for finishing the race. So that does it, boys. Nadewell in the Whataburger car finally brings home a W this season after having so many struggles with things outside of his control. He's finally able to put himself at the top step of the podium. What a day for Whataburger. What a day for Nadewell. What a day for society. Nadewell with a much-deserved win here, combined with a much-deserved podium, continuing his streak of not winning races, but still very heroic drive from Combined tonight. Let's see if we can get some interviews going. Will this work? It does. Hooray. All right. So as we wait for, oh, here we go. Looks like they are ready to go. And in P3 officially, because the Ferrari driver didn't follow instructions,
Heyo.
Kiwi with a podium. Here at Baku. Kiwi, I know that was probably a little bit boring at the end of that, since you were basically 10 seconds from the lead and 10 seconds from anyone challenging you for your spot.
Yeah.
But you showed off some very spicy pace at very spicy moments tonight. Did you spend a lot of time preparing for this race?
Yeah, I practiced for a lot of race-based stuff. Like, I ran 2 50% races over the weekend, and those certainly helped me today with at least consistency. But yeah, I think I had pretty strong pace today.
Yeah, well, you showed it. I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate. It just seemed like after the safety car restarted, Chubb Tucker getting in front, and then people having a few moments definitely kind of lost you guys the lead train. But still very, very solid driving from you. Next week, we're probably going to be at Singapore, I imagine. I didn't even think about when I made the announcement yesterday that we would have 3 street tracks in a row.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we might change that. Well, I'll probably ask everyone either once we finish the broadcast or tomorrow what we'd rather do. But yeah, so we'll finish on Monaco the week after that. But if we do Singapore, do you have any thoughts on this new Singapore layout?
I have only done Singapore when I was signing up for the league, and that's it. And I haven't touched it since, so definitely going to be a very chaotic race from my side.
All right, well, Kiwi, congratulations on that podium. Such a tremendous improvement from your first season here when you were racing in D2 back, I think, in season 9. So it's really nice to see that improvement from you, Kiwi, and we look forward to however you finish this season off with us, we look forward to whatever show you can give us. So thank you for racing with us, Kiwi.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then in P2, the man who just cannot win a race, or the man who just keeps refusing to win a race, we have the Australian legend himself, combined YouTuber. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, there we go.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Nope, that was that. Sorry. I guess, yeah, well, we saw you a ways back from the other two cars for a while, and we kind of saw you fade up back a little bit more. What were your thoughts when you were about, what was like 2.5 seconds or so, I think was the biggest gap you had between them? Did you think you were able to were you going to be able to work yourself back up towards the front of the race?
Well, I thought I thought I might have got like a better result than I could have, because the VSC screwed me over. I was about a second behind, and then they just pulled away because of the DRS and stuff. And then with that drag race with the Ferrari, I really wanted that. I mean, and then Nate told me in the waiting room just now he had yellow wing damage.
Wait, who had wing damage? Which one of them?
Nade.
Oh, dang. So
honestly, this is the first time I'm not happy with the third place.
Yeah, well,
Or
you were
second
just
place.
about
So if
like
you're counting the reserve, probably you.
yeah. So I mean, it was really close at the line there. A little bit of bumping from him, and then Nadewell with wing damage finishing. I guess in fairness to Nadewell, the dude has had lots of problems all season, so I guess he got lucky for once. But
Yeah, fair.
sheesh.
But
So when that safety car came out, I believe it was Chonk that pit first, correct? And then you pit after him, or did Chonk pit right as the safety car came out? I can't recall how the sequence played out.
yeah, I passed the pit lane as soon as it came out, and he was in the pits, and I just got messed up.
Yeah, so it flipped you guys a little bit, but it didn't seem to actually hurt you all that much. You were able to get back in front of everyone, and then yeah, like you mentioned, the VSC was a little bit rough. I was telling Kiwi before that when I made the announcement yesterday, changing the final round to Monaco, that I didn't really think about having 3 street tracks in a row. So maybe we'll have a conversation or a vote or something about what we want to race next week instead of Singapore, so we don't do 3 in a row. Or if we just want to do Singapore. But I mean, since Singapore is on the calendar, do you have any thoughts on this new layout Singapore that we have?
Well, it's obviously an extra passing place. I'm not the biggest fan of Singapore in general, but that removed bit. It's only temporary. I think it's like doing building stuff or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's an extra overtaking spot. Yeah, and then Monaco, of course. Oh yeah, that's just.
I'm sure Monaco in this game will be such a delight to drive. So
right, I think
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see
I'm
how
not very
that
good
goes.
at it.
Little sarcasm there.
I doubt I'll get a podium in Monaco, but we'll see.
Oh, so you'll just win, is what you're saying?
No, we'll see.
All right. Well, combined, congratulations on the finish tonight, and we look forward to whatever we do next week. So thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
And then in P1 for the first time this season, after all of the struggles and all of the stuff breaking and all of the internet exploding and 35 Whataburger hamburgers in preparation for this race, Nadewell finally puts it on the top step of the podium. Nade, how do you feel after that spicy race?
I haven't stopped smiling since I crossed the checker flag, dude. Oh my god. And I don't know if you noticed that, but I broke my front wing in the castle section in like lap 19.
Oh no.
So like the last 7 laps, I was driving with a broken front wing, like the right side. And I was like, okay, I gotta focus. I gotta like just playing to the understeer, just get the braking perfect, get the turning perfect, and just pray. Just pray, get into the straight line. And yeah, Oh my god! Finally, finally. Oh,
Man, were you
but,
thinking at all that whole time about like, oh man, this is finally the time where my internet's gonna stop working, or my wheel's gonna throw me into the wall, or my game's gonna crash? Were those thoughts in your head at all while you were?
dude, yeah, but that's a pretty big like straight line. So at the start of the straight line, I thought about it, and then at the end, it's like, yeah, like there's nothing I could do about it. Just like put in the laps, you know.
All right,
Like
all right.
I had like 26 separate therapy sessions with myself every time I went through that straight. It was crazy, dude. And when the first safety car came out, I was I was like, no. I got a 4 second gap. My wheel is working. My internet is working. Please, just don't like get rid of this. And then I just, oh, dude, I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy.
And bro, I am happy for you. It's nice to see a Whataburger car at the front of the grid 2 weeks in a row. Thank you, Jack Fletcher, for doing that for us last week. But but it's finally nice to see you up where you have definitely belonged. I think there's maybe at least 4 opportunities this season that you don't win because the game crashed, or your wheel stopped working, or your internet died, or like you disconnected from the race and then it retires you, or whatever weird stuff's been going on. But
Yeah,
man,
man. Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. I've been like doubting myself. Like, is it the game or is it me? You know, like, and no, I've been like every time that happens, I've been like trying to reset. Like, okay, yeah, I messed up, or the game messed up, or something. Like Bahrain, I messed up because I obviously could have gotten rid of that penalty in case I got it,
mhm.
but Hungary in all those moments I've been like, damn, damn. But now that I'm finally put it P1 at the end of a race, even though I messed up qualifying at the end, I'm so happy about that. I'm just happy.
All right, Nate. Well, congratulations, man, on that first win this season. I know you've won one before, a couple seasons back at Australia, or maybe last
Yeah,
season, whenever that was. But
yeah, but
congratulations. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I like the street circus. Australia was it's one of my stronger ones.
All right. So, Nate, well, congratulations again on that W, man, and good luck on the rest of this season.
Yeah, thank you, man. Let's go. Almost.
All right, y'all. That does it for Baku here at Division 2 Baku. Nadewell taking the win with Combine and Kiwi on the podium. Not the most full grid as you would hope for, but we'll see how things go through the rest of the season. Everyone have a nice night, y'all, and we will see you guys next week.